and doing all the seminars and stuff is you learn a lot about people. And their society here and in the UK and in Canada, it's weird because I think a lot of the things about bipolar or being triggered or woke or whatever these things are, a lot of it has to do with culture.
Yes.
But because we didn't have this, right? I mean, I didn't. There was still like we were still doing messenger pigeon and like stone tap. Like, no, seriously, you had to go deal. You had to go out, get the fuck out of the house, get out. My mother during summer vacation, you were out of that house by 7 o'clock in the morning, and don't come home until the street lights come on. And by God, you better be home when the street lights. Dude, they didn't know where the fuck we were all day. They didn't know where we were. We learned. We went and banged around with a bunch of young boys, just fucking banging and punching each other. Where the fuck? Let's climb a tree. Oh, Jimmy broke a leg. I learned a lesson. You know, you're there to protect each other, but you're there to learn. You go out into the world. I had my first job when I was 14, like really full-time job. And it's you have to learn manners and you have to learn this. They don't have to learn this shit anymore.
Nope.
They don't have to try. They just do it all through here. Now imagine those people raising and training a dog taught by people who never knew what it was like before. And they just are told that's what the internet is. Very insidious. The internet says, no, they're wrong. Trust the camera, trust the screen, trust the computer brain. No, those are just people sitting in their living room trying to fucking but that happens in every venue. It's like, I remember we were trying to get some cement put down and we went online and said, we got a problem with the cement. Like 500 people come out that don't listen to that guy. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. You put this, and I guarantee if you go online and type in plumbing, it's the same fucking thing.
It is.
But the difference is the dog is an unwilling participant. The cement, the pipe is a material. Those are materials. So you can afford to kind of find your own way that way, right? But but it's just looking at this video that I'm editing now, I'm watching. You were there.
Oh, yes. Yep, with her shepherd.
Right. And so like everybody's looking at this video like, what the fuck is Chris doing? You could hear it, but it's hard because she's supposed to be a seasoned dog trainer who knows what they're doing. Like, so just as a society now, we don't even understand what a dog is. I mean, I do, but people are so much into their emotions. See, here's what I'm saying to you. She took this dog and decided, I'm going to do Schutzhund with this dog. Does the dog know she's doing Schutzhund?
Nope.
How do you do Schutzhund? Well, you build the ball drive. That's what you do? Yeah. Then you get an electric collar or a prong, and you do the pattern. Does the dog know about this? Does the dog, I mean, does the dog understand what you're saying there? Well, it should. This is how you do it. Why doesn't this goddamn dog understand what I learned from this person and the internet? Because it's a dog, and you can't just lift up its ear flap and go, here's what we're going to do today. We're going to run a perfect Schutzhund 3 routine. I want 300 points, and if I see any mistakes, there will be electricity, and at the end, I'll be very happy. I'll give you a ball. That doesn't work. Because if that worked, that would be a human talking to a human, and they could understand each other. But the dog is just, ow, what the fuck, a ball? Ow, what the fuck, a ball? What? Then someone comes in with a fucking whip and a sleeve, and they're like, and they do that. So when you watch that whole video with her trying to get through it, we're starting off in a place where she believes this, and the dog believes this. And you watch this fight, and you were there. And when you look at it, they can't see the fight. The people can't see it. Like, why is this dog behaving like this? That's how you do it. No, no. The dog is going like, dude, I don't understand what the fuck you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
But the dog did understand that the ball shuts off all the stim.
Hmm.
So what
Yep.
did the dog try to do to shut off the stem? Climb up and get the ball or tell her, stop,
Mm-hmm.
stop. Dude, she got mauled.
Yeah, she did. Scratched the shit out of her.
But I had 5 days to try to install a language between the two of them that they could both understand. That's
Mm-hmm.
that because if she was around here or you were around here, we'd train
Mm-hmm.
twice a week. I'd
Mm-hmm.
have a little club again and be like, here's what we're doing. And then you get this kind of time to evolve and practice and then fail and go, do this. Here, we'll move this over. Okay, let me show you. That's how it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
This completely eliminates that process. But at the seminar, it's 100% that. We got to get this done now.
Yep.
Because if you keep going the way you're going with the dog's going to tear you a new one. Like this dog's
Mm-hmm.
like really close to going, I'm going to fuck somebody up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's
So
still young. That's probably what saved her, wasn't he? Oh, was he 4? I couldn't
he's been
remember how
doing,
old he was.
they've been doing that shit for 4 years.
Oh my God. No
You
wonder.
imagine? The dog
Oh,
is like, please. That's a good dog.
yeah. Yeah. To
Yeah.
put up with that for 4 years and not,
Yeah.
annihilate her. Yeah.
And how much all those tools, and because she wants the pattern,
Mm-hmm.
so this is the emotion. So there's attachment, which is I'm going to do Schutzhund and I'm going to title, and this dog's going to learn, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get a title. I'm gonna get a trophy. I'm gonna get on social media and say, and people do this. This is why they get into it now, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna make money as a trainer. I'm not saying her, but people do. Then it's good for my followers, and it's good for this. That dog has no idea
Mm-hmm.
what your motivation is, and because your motivation isn't based in something that the dog can easily understand, like a job like sheep herding or detection or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, you just dragged the dog into this pattern with all
Mm-hmm.
these tools, and to the dog, that's like, what the fuck is going on? What's wrong, mom? Mom's out of her mind. For
Mm-hmm.
4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the problem. She's not thinking, I need a dog to herd sheep. She's
Mm-hmm.
got she's got a lot more problems if she thinks about herding the dog or using the dog to herd sheep, right? Like, you can't kill the sheep.
Yep.
You can't use an electric collar. You kind of got to let the instincts kind of run. Well, see, that's where people learned how to deal with dogs. Now they take them home, love the balls off them,
Mm-hmm.
and then they get pissed at them, and they essentially do the same thing. They go like, all right, they said just do this. Well, you got to stop doing what you did
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and then learn why the dog is so fucked up. It's because of your communication.
Mm-hmm.
And then get your shit right so you're talking to the dog the right way. And once you talk to the dog the right way, the dog will be like, why the fuck didn't you say so? You've been telling me to do everything else that you're pissed off at me for now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right? So that's my big dilemma with this medium, is because people aren't controlling their emotions with dogs, and they're now catering to the people instead of understanding that the dog is an unwilling participant. So that goes back to the cultural thing I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's also because these kids are so fucking sensitive. Never mind the kids, the adults are sensitive too now.
Yes, they are.
Like
Yeah.
what the fuck are we doing? You're sitting there welding a dog, and it's screaming at you so hard because it doesn't understand that you decide to add more electricity to this.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
So what are we after? Well, he's got to learn. Absolutely. But you've got to learn to say the right thing so he can understand what you're trying to teach.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So if you keep having a problem and your idea is better food, more electricity, more corrections, more play, more this, what's the problem? The problem is you're communicating something that got you here. You don't want to stop the way you're communicating The dog got it all the way to here. Now the dog's like, okay, I'm an adult. I get it. I know what the routine is. Now I'm going to start telling you what to do. And now you're going to just beat the brakes off the dog or get an electric collar and just start applying shit. What is that dog saying? And what are you saying? So the problem is we keep fucking telling them shit that we want them to do, and then we get pissed when the behaviors of enabling and entitlement and purely positive and all that shit, we start going to weapons. And so the dogs are like, hey, that the reason I want to do that video, I don't know if it'll ever see the light of day, because people will look at it and go, what the fuck is happening? It's a mess. The dog is very confused and the handler's very confused. You don't just wave a wand and fix that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they're trying to do.
Yep.
That's what everybody's trying to do. So they just keep getting more equipment. What I did was said, take all that fucking equipment off, and I'm going to teach you how to understand your dog, and I'm going to teach your dog how to understand you. And we got 5 fucking days to get one thing that you and this dog can see and go, I get it. That's all. Forget Schutzhund. Forget the ball. Forget the e-collar. Learn about the goddamn dog. And then what happens is people's emotions really start to get crazy, because they start to go, I was told I was good at this. And I don't give a shit about all that. Look at the fucking dog. We're here for the dog. We're not here for you. And that's really cultural now. It's like, it's not you. It's not. I mean, it is you, but it's not about you. The handler gets the dog they deserve, and that means with their intelligence too. But if you look at what I was thinking about that was, when I was running around at as 9, 10, 6, 7, in a housing project, we always had a dog with us. You had it on leash. If it would take off, you had it on leash. Your mother, take the dog with you. All right, fucking. You're running. The dog's like this behind you, and the dog just learns to keep up. And then the dog learns to not go away. And the dog learns, oh, we're headed towards the fucking food, and the dog will beat you there. And if you always took the dog past a house where there was a cat, and you were like, get the kitty, get the kitty, that dog knew. You were training the whole time, but the relationship was so real. Now everybody's got all these fucking fantasies in their heads about how dogs think. And we're not just seeing the dog. Like, I think I'm the last generation to really see the dog the way a dog is, it's been for a long time. And that's kind of sad. So putting this video out, it's risky. This is who I'm trying to deal with. Irrational people. People who are completely out of control with their emotions. People who are absolutely unaccountable for what they say and what they do, and they don't have to take anybody's information in.
Absolutely.
Right. So that's the problem. And if we don't understand that that's the problem, and that we have to rediscover, you or other people have to rediscover how a dog communicates, and get away from all that poison on social media, veterinary behaviorists, all these things that are marketed to people now as careers that were never meant to be careers.
No,
it was just meant to be, I saw this video, Candace, of this guy. It was so scary. This guy's out west, and his horse fell into this, I don't know, it's like a little puddle, but it's where an underground spring was.
Oh, no.
And it just opened up and ate the horse. And the horse got full pack. So so the guy, they're panicking. They get a front loader, and they get, they got him tied off to that, and they're trying to get him out, and the water's freezing. Well, there's 3 fucking dogs there. So the dogs know to stay out of the fucking way, except for one who's young. And he comes over. He's like, what are you doing? Is that a horse? Pip! And that dog's gone. I got to save this fucking horse. And he's like, all right, don't go near the horse. That guy would be up on charges if he taught a lesson like that.
Yeah, he would be.
That's just life. What the fuck? You should never hit the dog. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, sometimes they need a smack, just like some people need a smack.
It's not even, he got shoved. Like, get the fuck out of the way, dude.
Yep.
He's also saving the dog's life.
Mm-hmm.
So purely positive people only use food. That's that fucking high value recall bullshit.
Yeah.
You think
Emergency
you think there's a prey animal flailing around
recall.
in a
Mm-hmm.
puddle that's completely restrained, who smells like horse shit and outdoors, and this puppy's like, yeah, pip, it's over.
Yep.
He didn't even think about the dog. He's thinking about saving the dog from drowning. Because if
Yep.
the dog takes one more step, he's going under, and the horse is going to mash him. Fuck
Yep.
that. I'm not going in there. God bless,
Yep.
dog. God bless. So he's
Yep.
saving his life. But you watch, the other two dogs have already learned that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
they're just like, all right, we're dogs here. They're fucking around. They're doing something. They don't go far. They don't do things. So tell me how these cowboys can take their dogs out there and the dog catches up to the way they live.
Yep.
Now, when you live in a city, it's a much more dense population of people and dogs. So now we all want everybody to be friends.
Yep.
What are we doing? What are we doing? Right? So you start
Yep.
going out and now that's the way people believe.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
People, you have to socialize them. You have to socialize them. And now we're hyper socializing them. So we're doing everything for them. We're hyper socializing for them. That's exactly like society today. It's the same fucking thing. It's the same fucking thing. So I'm sitting here trying to teach people about dogs, and they're kind of offended of like the way a dog thinks.
Mm-hmm.
How can you be offended at the way a dog thinks?
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, but
It doesn't.
if you look at people, they think everybody thinks like them. They think everybody has to think the way I think.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right? So
Yep.
that's what happens. I have students in the past who were like, I told you about the lady who came in with the side-by-side twin stroller, for twins.
Oh God, yes.
And she had two hairless rat terriers,
Ugh.
brother and sister, and they're in the carriage like this.
Oh
sitting,
Lord.
you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So they look like two testicles. It's gross.
Oh yeah.
I don't like the non-furry dogs. Like
No, I don't either.
Right? Can't do it. So they're strapped in.
Mm-hmm.
They're wearing diapers. They're wearing the same fur vest that the mother is wearing, the lady walking them, and they're both wearing tiaras, and so is she. So I come out. Dylan's got her in the evaluation room, and I turn the corner. You've seen it in Kittery, right? Go with a big glass window, and I turn.
Yep.
Yeah, and I go, all right, what do we got here? Nope. And I hand her the eval form. I said, thanks for coming in. She's like, I need a behaviorist. I go, you do, but you need a Xanax salt lick too, and you need to find these fucking things home. And she's like, I'm leaving. See you later. The fuck? People would take that lady and they'd milk her on all four tits for money.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then those dogs are like this. People don't care, but why the fuck are the dogs wearing clothes in a fucking bed? See, what's your problem? They don't listen to me. You see, that's not the problem. That's your problem. That's not the problem. And again, you are the problem. So it's very difficult to get people to kind of see in this society that everyone's telling them it's always something else's fault.
Mm-hmm.
If something triggers you,
dog living on the East Coast where it gets brutally cold.
Hold on, it had a fur vest on.
Or why do you have a husky that lives in Florida? That drives me nuts when I see Nordic breeds in hot climates like that. I'm like, why? Why would you do that?
Because it's a fashion statement. See, that's exactly my point, Candace, is that you have a Nordic breed, and no one says, I live in a subtropical environment, but I do like the way they look. I'm going to get a husky. Okay, that's just mean.
Yeah.
That's just mean.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Well, he
It
died at the dog park of heat exhaustion. You don't say.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, what the fuck? It's impossible now. But I also think this is what I'm saying to you, is that I think it's the people. I think people don't know how to talk to each other.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And people can't say, okay, that might be a problem. Could you point it out to me so I can understand this more deeply? Instead of, no, this dog is the fucking problem.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Yep.
No. Here's why it's the problem. Nope, the dog is the problem. I'm just, there's a guy who tells me I can just put him on meds and he'll fix it. Okay, go ahead. Go see him. Mm-hmm. That's cruel as fuck to the dog.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy who's an e-collar trainer who's just going to, if he does something I don't like, they're going to teach me how to correct it. Okay, fine, fair enough. But that's also taking a thing that used to be personal from another dog or a person into making it electronic so the dog can't see it the same way. And on top of all that, you're still allowing and teaching the behavior you're going to fuck the dog up for when it's got the e-collar on. Mm-hmm. That's kind of mean, right? I mean, but the science says, I don't give a fuck what science says. Look what's happening in front of you. It's just so much of a, like, years ago, Candace, people would be like, hey, dude, I want to learn how to train a dog. I'm like, all right, let's go. And we'd start rocking. That was our club. That was everything. Now it's everybody goes to a dog trainer because they want the dog to fix the dog that they fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so if the dog's been through purely positive, and the dog's been through clicker training, and the dog's been through Keeler, and the dog's been through balance training, and the dog's been through e-call training, and none of that's worked, it's going to be harder for me to get you to understand this now because the dog is more fucked up than Joe Biden. Do you understand?
Yep.
It's so all that bullshit that everybody tries, if they just saw the dog and understood what the dog was, if they understood what the dog was, that industry would disappear. It's middle class people who are catered to literally put their own kind of torture on an animal that's an unwilling participant. That's what parents are today.
Yeah.
That's parents. That's exactly. You understand what I'm saying? It's like the poor fucking dogs are suffering from woke culture. The poor fucking dogs are suffering from marketing. The poor fucking dogs are like, look, we like all the shit you give us, but what the fuck happens to you people when we do something wrong? You fucking told us we could. And then in the end, they're just disposable. Here, get rid of it. That's fucked up. Well, when you do that with people, you can't get rid of them. They become the majority.
Yep.
I don't know. I just was thinking about that, for obvious reasons. But wow, this is how I make a living. See that evil laugh? You know it. You've seen it. How many times have you fucking seen it? I get it. It's turned into kind of with you. You're just so authentic. It's very easy to talk to you. It's very, very easy. In fact, sometimes it's too easy. But when you're trying to work with someone, they think you're trying to work with them exclusively. And it really the thing that keeps it real is the dog. Right? Because if you have someone who's like bipolar and they're hugging the dog, and then they're like, I got the shit, and then they go, I love you. They're like, okay, don't tell me that's not the dog, it's you. I mean, that's it. That's the poster child for it. So, but you know what he does? He growls at me when I go to pick him up. Huh? What do you think that's from? Well, a veterinary behaviorist told me to get food and redirect him. Oh, all right. Are you gonna pick him up and fucking Hulk him like Loki and fucking do that again? Because I guarantee you, whatever they're sending ain't gonna help you.
Yeah.
So that's you. That's the dog cannot extrapolate what you're trying to say, except for the gravity's off and it's on, and it's off and it's on, and now you have a precursor behavior, which is this, and the dog's going, and you want me to correct that? I hope that fucking dog rips your larynx out.
Yeah.
Because then the person goes like this. See, the dog's already starting to have to correct the person. Then when it turns into self-defense, now that's a bite. I gotta bite you to end this shit. Stop. And people, if I introduced the science behind that, people would shit. It's too real for people. It's much too real. But that's the problem. So what's the problem? Human mental illness. You shouldn't have a fucking dog. You shouldn't have a kid. You shouldn't have a sick. Go get your shit straight. But don't expect me to. So if they go to the vet's going to give them meds, neuter them. You know, we can try this. How about if we just it's like. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how did you like the play? Her husband just got his brains blown out, and somebody wants to know about the fucking play.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like the dog is doing. Like, imagine if you had Jade right now, and you were like, "Sit, don't embarrass me in front of Mr. Frey. Sit." The dog's like, "I don't know what the fuck you want from me," and you go, "I got sit." Now I would go, "Wow." I'm understanding where the problem is here. I wouldn't sell you an e-collar. I wouldn't tell you to throw a toy. I wouldn't tell you to get a clicker. I wouldn't tell you to get a choke chain. I'd be like, go see a health professional.
Yeah.
That's
You need some meds, not the dog.
Do you understand? Like that, our culture is the problem. Our society is the problem, and we've dragged dogs unwillingly into a place where they were never meant to be, and that's why we have so many problems. But problems make money.
Yep, that they do.
So,
I'm bipolar, so you need to accommodate me.
see, that's the thing. When you start identifying with your mental illness, it's like saying you have a big abscess on your leg, and you go, please do not make me uncomfortable. I have this giant abscess. I am this abscess. Yeah, but you don't want to be that abscess. You see, that's going to eat you up, and it might infect somebody else. Yeah, but I get a lot. I can control things now because everybody feels bad for me, and because I'm special, and like, all right, let's amputate the leg at the neck. That's what we need to do.
Yep.
So now dump a dog in that mix.
Yeah. Nope.
I don't know. And it's hard, I think, when the dog can be a great catalyst for people who are intelligent, who have kind of followed the mainstream industry and social media. And when you go, what are you doing? They go, what? Like, Sky needs performance.
Yep.
She ain't got no time to fuck around.
Yep.
And boy, where do you see what they're doing to her?
Oh, still more.
Dude, they fucking denied her with the dog. You know that, right?
Oh, yep. You said they pushed her out 2 years, and then now did they deny it completely?
Well, she's considering it that because either way, she's gonna have a dog by then, so it doesn't matter, right?
Yep.
But then she's been looking at litters, and we did a whole litter evaluation video where she went and she's like, well, I evaluated this litter. I go, let's see. And so she's like, what do you think? And I go, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. And she's like, no, I have to learn this. And I go, okay. I said, they're selling you this dog. You can't see who this dog is. They've done work with these puppies to make them.
Yeah, that was definitely not.
No, dude, I don't. But that's
for a puppy to act like that.
But from the guide dog school back in the day, that's how they. What they do for Keelers, just make the puppy like clay, like.
Yep.
Right? So that was normal for her. So as she goes forward and the industry abandons her, the one who needs a dog more than anybody else, the industry abandons her, she's going to have to find out how to do this herself.
Yep.
And I told her, I said, that's what you're here for.
Yep.
And she's like, what do you mean? I said, because you always will have to rely on somebody else for a dog.
Mm-hmm.
If you can, you're going to need someone with sight to help you. You're always going to need that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But if you can learn how to do this, see, she's like, but I need it now. I said, that's the lesson. You can't have it now. And that's the way it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You got to learn. And she's going to learn so much. And she gets pissed at me sometimes because she's very eager. And I understand why.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I'm like, you're talking to me because you have to learn patience. That's what I promise you.
Mm-hmm.
And she always has a plan to protect herself.
Mm-hmm.
This is my plan if I can't find where I am. This is my plan if I'm at an airport. This is my plan. I said, you can't plan this.
Mm-hmm. No, you can't.
Nothing you can do.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, oh my God, you're right. I'm on my own. I said, you are on your own, but you're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a bunch of people. She said, Candace sent me. I said, Candace is the greatest person you're ever going to meet in your life. You know what's funny? She's asked me about a lot of other people, and I go, and she's like, well, what does mean? And I go, and she's like, so you're not going to say anything? And so she's like, well, because I've never had someone where I'm like, that's a good person. She said, Candace sent me. I said, oh, Candace is the greatest person in the world. I said, Candace will do anything for you. She's just wonderful. And she's like, you love Candace. I said, I absolutely love Candace. And she's like, I've never heard you talk about anybody like this. And I said, because there ain't many people like that. So, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I sent her that one breeder, new one that was in Nevada, I guess. And she said it's 2 hours from her.
Yeah, I think she looked at it. Was it white puppies?
Were they?
I don't know.
I'm not sure if they had a litter. She said it's one of the breeders where they like to pick the dog for you.
Yeah. Oh, no. That was it. She's out of that. But she has one now where she's asking them to do things that I would do as a temperament test. So, like, the temperament test they were doing was a demonstration, was a sales pitch.
Yep.
There's things you want to know if you're going to look at a dog. See, the other thing, too, is you don't have to evaluate a dog's intelligence anymore. You just slap an e-collar on it or get the food or take it to a dog park. No one's looking at who the dog is. And so she was really stoked about that. But then she sent me a video last night, and she's like, what do you think of this? And I go, oh, she thinks it's good. And I go, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And she's like, oh, I'm excited. I said, what are you doing? You not seen this dog yet? Don't fucking get wound up.
Yep.
And that's another thing people do when they pick a puppy. I want a puppy. Fucking calm down. Don't make a fucking emotional decision right now.
Yep.
It's hard. It's hard. It's always reining the people in a time where if you tell anyone what to do, if you tell anyone they're wrong, or you upset them, or they think it's confrontational, you're Hitler. It's a hate crime. Anything coming out of my mouth is a hate crime. Okay. Don't talk to me. What do you want from me? Just don't talk to me. But you know what? When people get to the point where they have the gift of desperation and they've tried everything else, a lot of times it's too late. But then they'll listen. But the minute they get what they want, they'll go right back to what they were doing before. It's a lifestyle change. It's how you see the dog is a lifestyle change. Because a dog will tell you everything you need to know about how you communicate. And me too.
Yep.
Yeah. We have to get more balanced as people, and a dog is a great way to do that. If you're really going to speak its language, that's a great way. But if you're going to get a dog to be a status symbol or a highlight reel, or because you're an influencer, you're already being cruel. You just don't know it yet. It's just accepted. So.
Yep.
That's hard.
Yeah.